Hello viewers, how are you? Welcome to my channel Physics with Rans. So today we are going to discuss about angle of repose. Before going to start this topic, my humble request to everyone is please watch my previous videos based on this laws of motion so that you will be familiar with the concepts. So let's start the topic. So what is angle of repose? Angle of repose is being represented when a body is placed on the wedge. So consider a wedge. Wedge is nothing but an inclination of the body with respect to horizontal represents wedge. Suppose if we place a body on the wedge like this, and if the body is not sliding, then we can represent that it possesses friction which is able to hold the body on this inclined plane. So as we try to increase the inclination of this inclined plane at a particular angle, the body starts sliding. So the angle at which the body is going to start its sliding represents angle of repose. Observe the definition. The minimum angle of inclination of a plane with the horizontal such that the body placed on the plane just begins to slide down. So that represents the angle of repose. Suppose let us consider that the body is stationary on the inclined plane with respect to angle of theta. Since the body is placed on this, the weight possessed by the body, it resolves into components as mg cos theta and mg sin theta. Since the weight possesses angle theta at this location, whereas observe that this mg cos theta is being balanced by normal reaction. So from this we can represent that n is equals to mg cos theta, n equals to mg cos theta, whereas the force mg sin theta, it represents a driving force which acts in the downward direction. F suffix d is equals to mg sin theta. This driving force is being balanced by the frictional force which acts in the opposite direction. Since the body is a rest position on the inclined plane, we can represent this frictional force as a static frictional force. Static frictional force. Why? Because the body is at rest position on the inclined plane. As we increase the angle with respect to this horizontal surface, here what happens is it is ready to slide at a particular angle. That angle is being represented as alpha. So observe that at a particular angle, if the body starts sliding, then we can represent that the body had attained the limiting frictional force. Due to this limiting frictional force itself, the body is going to start sliding on the inclined plane. Means the driving force will be greater than this frictional force. So based on that, we can represent that the frictional force can be represented as a kinetic friction force, where we know that the kinetic frictional force is given as mu into n, where n is equals to mg cos theta, mu into mg cos theta, mu into mg cos theta. So here we had represented the frictional force, whereas the driving force is mg sin. Whereas the body will start sliding when this driving force is equals to this frictional force. Based on that, we can represent that mg sin theta is equals to mu mg cos theta, mu mg cos theta. Observe that here mg and mg gets cancelled, whereas here we have sin theta by cos theta is nothing but tan theta. Tan theta is equals to mu. This represents angle of repose, whereas theta is equals to tan inverse of mu. Theta equals to tan inverse of mu. That represents the angle at which the body will start sliding down on the inclined plane. Whereas this angle theta is being represented based on alpha. Theta equals to alpha. Why? Because we are going to increase the angle of inclination, and this alpha represents the critical angle at which the body starts sliding down on the inclined plane. So based on that, here if we represent that as we increase the alpha, the driving force will increase. Why? Because we know that as theta increases, sin theta also increases. Sin theta also increases. Why? Because we know that sin 0 is 0 and sin 90 is 1. So here we get the values in between 0 to 1. So according to that we can represent that the driving force will increase. Whereas as theta increases, here the frictional force acting on the body decrease. Why? Because we know that cos 0 is 1 whereas cos 90 is 0. So based on that we can represent that cos theta decreases, means the frictional force decreases on the body and it moves in the downward direction with a particular acceleration based on this driving force. Next, here if we consider that theta is equals to alpha, then we can represent that tan alpha is equals to mu. Then the body begins to slide down the inclined plane. Whereas if theta is greater than alpha, angle of repose, if theta is greater than alpha, then we can represent that the body moves with acceleration on the inclined plane which is greater than this frictional force. Take a screenshot, we will continue. Observe the first problem. A block lying on an inclined plane has a weight of 50 Newton. It just begins to slide down when inclination of the plane with the horizontal is 30 degrees. Find the coefficient of static friction. So here observe that the body is being placed on the inclined plane, whereas W equals to mg equals to 15 Newton, whereas here the inclination of the inclined plane is 30 degrees. So here we have theta equals to alpha equals to 30 degrees. Why? Because here observe that the body just begins to slide down the inclined plane. Based on that, here we can represent alpha is equals to theta equals to 30 degrees. According to angle of repose, here we know that mu is equals to tan alpha. Mu equals to tan alpha, where mu represents coefficient of static friction. So based on that, here we can represent it as tan 30, where we know that tan 30 equals 1 by root 3. So based on that, coefficient of static friction is 1 by root 3. Take a screenshot, we will continue. The next problem is a block of mass 10 kg is placed on the inclined plane, inclined at an angle of theta equals to 37 degrees with the horizontal. The coefficient of friction between the block and inclined is mu equals to 0.5. Now we have to calculate the acceleration of the block when it is released. So here observe that a body is being placed on the inclined plane, whereas angle of inclination is theta equals to 37 degrees, whereas mass of this block is m equals to 10 kg. Mass of the block is m equals to 10 kg. So here based on that, first of all we have to calculate the acceleration of the block when it is released. So here observe that this weight of the block, it results into components as mg cos theta and mg sin theta. Mg cos theta and mg sin theta. So from here mg cos theta equals to mass of the block is 10 and gravity is 10 and cos 37, and we know that cos 37 is 4 by 5. So from this here we can represent it as 10 into 10 into 4 by 5. So 5 to 0. So observe that 4 to 0 8, 8 into 10. So here 18 Newton of force is acting in the downward direction. Whereas mg sin theta is nothing but 10 into sin 37, and we know that sin 37 is nothing but 3 by 5. So 3 by 5. So here as you cancel here we get 60 Newton. So the driving force is 60 Newton, whereas the weight acting in the downward direction is 80 Newton. Observe that here frictional force acts in the opposite direction, and this mg cos theta is being balanced by normal reaction. It is being balanced by normal reaction. So first of all we have to calculate the acceleration of the block when it is released. So from this here observe that if the driving force is greater than this frictional force, then only the body gains the acceleration. Then we can represent it as mg sin theta minus f is equals to ma. mass into acceleration. Now we have to represent the frictional force. Observe that the frictional force is given as mu into n, where n is equals to 80 Newton and the value of mu is 0.5. If I substitute here, we have 0.5 into 80. So from there we can represent it as 80 by 2. Why? Because 0.5 can be represented as 1 by 2. So here we get a frictional force as 40 Newton. So the frictional force acting on the block is 40 Newton. So if I substitute these values here, we have 60 minus 40 is equals to mass is 10 into acceleration A. So from that here, observe that 60 minus 40 is 20. 20 is equals to 10A. From this acceleration A is equals to 2 meter per second square. This represents the acceleration of the block when it is released. And the second question is, if we apply a force of 75 Newton as shown, find out the acceleration of the block if the block is initially at a rest position. So now we have to represent the acceleration of the block if the block is applied by a force of 75 Newton. As a force is being applied in the upward direction like this, the frictional force will be acting in the downward direction. Based on that, the driving force can be given as F suffix D equals to applied force minus mg sin theta. Mg sin theta. So from this here, the applied force is 75 Newton minus mg sin theta is nothing but 60 Newton. So if I substitute here, we get a driving force as F suffix D is equals to 15 Newton. F suffix D equals to 15 Newton. Whereas here we have to find the acceleration of the block. Observe that the frictional force acting on the block is 40 Newton. So based on that, we can represent that the static frictional force is greater than the driving force. So the block will remain stationary on the inclined plane. And the third point is, in case B, how much of force should be applied to 75 Newton force so that the block just starts to move up the inclined plane. So other than 75 Newton, how much of force should be applied on the inclined plane so that the block moves up the inclined plane. Observe that here the force applied on the block is F, whereas mg sin theta is acting in the downward direction, whereas the frictional force also acts in the downward direction. Here the force acting on the block is 60 Newton as well as the frictional force acting on the block is 40 Newton. So from that here we have 60 plus 40 is equals to how much of force is applied here? 75 Newton. Other than that, we have to represent the additional force so that the block starts moving. From that here, observe that 100 is equals to 75 plus F dash, where F dash equals to 100 minus 75. So additionally we have to apply 25 newtons of force so that the block moves up the inclined plane. So this amount of force should be applied on the block so that it moves up the inclined plane. And next fourth point is in case B, what is the minimum force by which 75 Newton force should be replaced so that the blocks does not move. So here we have to replace this 75 Newton of force, whereas observe that the force applied on the block is 60 Newton and then frictional force acting on the block is 40 Newton. Based on that, we have to represent the minimum force applied on the block so that it should not move. For this, we consider that the applied force on the block plus frictional force acting on the block 40 is equals to the force acting on the block in the downward direction due to weight is 60 Newton. From that here we have F is equals to 60 minus 40 which is equals to 20 Newton. So if we apply 20 Newton of force on the block will be rest on the inclined plane. Take a screenshot, we will continue. Now we are going to discuss about the blocks which are placed on the inclined plane and they are moving in the downward direction with contact. So for this, let us consider a wedge with an angle of theta, whereas masses of the two blocks are M1 and M2. whereas friction force, coefficient of frictions of the blocks are mu1 and mu2. So here when we consider the mass m1 on the inclined plane, let us consider that it possesses acceleration a1, and if we consider mass m2 on the inclined plane, it possesses acceleration a2. So if we consider that a1 is greater than a2, then the two blocks in the downward direction in contact with each other. The two blocks will move in the downward direction in contact with each other. Why? Because the first block possesses more acceleration as compared to second block. Whereas if we consider that acceleration of the first block is less than acceleration of the second block, then these two blocks will move separately. Then no driving force will act on these two blocks. So let us consider the first case, that the block acceleration of the first block is greater than acceleration of the second block. Then driving force due to m2 acts on m1 and driving force due to m1 acts on m2. So let us represent the case of this m1 and m2 by drawing FBD diagrams. So observe that weight acts in the downward direction. Why? Because since the weight makes an angle of theta, it resolves into components as mg cos theta and mg sin theta. Here the mass is m1, so here we represent it as m1g and m1g. Observe that. So here it resolved into components as m1g cos theta and m1g sin theta. This driving force is being balanced by frictional force, which acts in the upward direction, whereas m1g cos theta is being balanced by normal reaction. m1g cos theta is being balanced by normal reaction. Due to block m2, driving force acts on the block in the upward direction, n. Here the driving force is being represented by n. So now let's represent the equation for this mass m1 based on the forces along the x-axis as well as force acting along the y-axis. So here the sum of forces acting along the x-axis, summation of f suffix x equals to m1 into a. That implies sum of all the forces along the x-axis is, observe that m1g sin theta acts in the downward direction, m1g sin theta minus driving force n, which acts in the upward direction, and frictional force f, which acts in the upward direction. Whereas we know that the frictional force is being represented as mu n, whereas the coefficient of friction of the block m1 is mu1. So here it can be represented as mu1 into n1. Why? Because the normal force is being represented by n1, which is equals to m1 into a. Whereas the forces acting along the y-axis is represented by summation of f suffix y, which is equals to 0. That implies observe that n1 is equals to m1 g cos theta, m1g cos theta. Now let us represent the FBD diagram for mass m2. So here observe that weight acts in the downward direction, m2g. Since it makes an angle of theta, it resolves into components as m2g cos theta and m2g sin theta, m2g sin theta. Whereas this weight m2g cos theta is being balanced by normal reaction, n2, it is being represented by n2. Whereas the driving force acts in the downward direction, whereas the driving force acts in the downward direction due to block m1 on m2. Whereas this force is being balanced by frictional force, whereas the frictional force is being represented as mu2 into n2. So now we have to represent the forces along the x-axis as well as along the y-axis. So here the sum of forces along the x-axis is given as summation of fx is equals to m2 into a2. Why? Because acceleration of the block m2 is a2. So sum of forces acting along the x-axis is m2g sin theta as well as a driving force n, and minus mu2 into n2 is equals to m2 a2, m suffix to a2. So these are the sum of forces which are acting along the x-axis, whereas the sum of forces acting along the y-axis is equals to 0. From that, here we get n2 is equals to m2g cos theta, m2g cos theta. So we can substitute this value in this equation. Now here from this, by substituting these two values in the above equations and solving these two equations, here we get m1g sin theta minus n minus mu1 into m1g cos theta equals to m1 into a1. Whereas in the same way, if I substitute this value in the above equation, here we get m2g sin theta plus n minus mu2 into m2g cos theta equals to m2a2. Since blocks are moving in the downward direction by sticking with each other in contact, then we can represent that these two blocks possess the same acceleration. Then we can represent that a1 is equals to a2 equals to a. So here if I consider that a1 equals to a2 equals to a, and if we substitute the value of n in this equation, then we can represent the equation as n is equals to, so here observe this, m1 into a minus m1g sin theta plus mu1 into m1g cos theta, m1g cos theta. Let us substitute this value in this equation. Here we get m2g sin theta plus m1 into a minus m1g sin theta plus mu1 into m1g cos theta minus mu2 into m2g cos theta is equals to m2 into a2. So let's bring this m1 into a towards this side, m2 into a. Let's bring this m1 into a towards this side, and here observe that here we have m2g sin theta and here we have m1g sin theta. So if you take g sin theta as common, here we have m2 minus m1 into g sin theta, and here as you observe that here we have mu1 m1 g cos theta and here we have mu2 m2 g cos theta. So here from this we can take a g cos theta as common, then we have plus mu1 m1 minus mu2 m2 into g cos theta is equals to, observe that m2 into a minus m1 into a. So from that if we take a as common, then we have m2 minus m1 into a. From this we can represent the acceleration of the bodies when they are in contact along the inclined plane is m2 minus m1 into g sin theta plus mu1 into m1 minus mu2 into m2 into g cos theta by m2 minus m1. This represents the common acceleration of the two blocks when they are sliding down on the inclined plane. Take a screenshot. I hope that you had enjoyed my video. Please give a like to this video, share this video to your friends, and don't forget to subscribe my channel. Thank you.